and thank you for joining today on Paint with Heart. I'm your host, Cindy Harrison, and let me introduce you to my co-host, Melissa Reyes.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being here with us on Paint with Heart. I am Melissa Reyes. I go by Ms. Meliz, and you can find me at msmeliz.com. I'm really excited to be here today because I love lavender. And it makes me think of spring, and even though it's summer right now, it's a scent that can carry you through all year long. And it makes me think of calming and relaxing times. So when things get busy, I like to have my lavender scented things around, right? So today we're going to be talking about the word of the day is calm. So that goes with lavender, and Cindy is going to show us how to paint some lavender bunches tied together onto beautiful backgrounds, and surprisingly on a tin that we could keep things in, and why not put a lavender sachet in there is what I'm thinking, right, Cindy? She's got all kinds of great ideas. So let me show you the card for today because it's about calm.
That's excellent. And here are our bundles of lavender, which actually is budded up in my front yard. It hasn't bloomed yet, but it will be blooming shortly. And I do love it. And not only is it great for like the essential oils we've talked about, bath, spas and stuff like that, room fresheners and such, but you can also cook with it. And that's what I have done. I've cooked with it and put it on panna cotta, or put it in scones. I've put it in different kinds of dessert puddings and cookies. I made some really awesome lavender cookies at holiday. So here we are, and let me show you how I prepared the surface. It started with, if you can believe this, a cookie tin. And these end up tending to go in the recycling bin. And I said, wait a minute, I can use that. Now, whether you store your lavender sachets in it or you put tea in it, there's lavender tea. There's so many things, right? So I started with this. I lightly sanded it with a sanding disc with a lightly damped cloth, wiped that off, and then covered it with this. It's called Rust-Oleum Painter's Touch Ultra Cover White Flat Primer. And when you spray it with that and do this outside in a well-ventilated area, it will become white like this. And that gives you a nice surface to start painting on. Or in our case, decoupage. So what I did was took Tim Holtz tissue paper. This particular one's called Melange. And I decoupaged it onto my surface. And you can use regular decoupage. It's like, what did I do with it now over here? DecoArt has a decoupage matte formula, and I just brushed that onto my tin can and smooth this onto the surface, put another coat of this over top, another coat of decoupage over top. And doing that seals the tissue paper and makes it correctable when I go to paint on it if I don't like what I'm painting, if I go over the lines. And then trim it off when you're done. And the next step, if you don't have this and you still want to have that creative background, take some regular tissue paper that you have, or even copy paper, and take some rubber stamps and rubber stamp different designs and different angles. Don't put them all the same angle. You can change the angle of the rubber stamp and create your own decorative paper. Let's see. So that's brought me to this level. Now, because the black is very bright, or the intense, what I did was do a wash of white over top of it to tone it down. and then added my design. So I currently have on here my drawn design, and I made it so that it was in 3 places. So measure the distance so that you're approximately the same distance from each one. And then we are going to base coat that first with graphite. And I already have 1 coat on there, but I do want a second coat to make it a little bit more solid. You can use, in my case, I'm using like a 2 flat or a 4 flat. It's a 2. And I'm going to pick up some, try not to have any water in your brush. And go ahead and add another layer of paint. And I created this wrought iron design because number 1, it's paint with heart. And number 2, I wanted my lavender to hang off of something. Obviously, when you have it dried, you have to hang it, right? So I'm going to hang it on my wrought iron gate. Lavender is a calming scent, why they use it so often, aroma.
You know, that's interesting, Cindy. A lot of people, I don't know if everybody knows how to dry flowers. And like I used to do that with roses or bouquets of flowers that I wanted to keep. I would dry them. I would turn them upside down.
Yeah.
And, you know, take them out of the water, of course. Make a bouquet, tie it with a ribbon or cord, and hang them upside down before they start to flop over.
Right.
And then hang them somewhere, you know, so that they would dry, so that when you turn them back over, they would be like they were before, you know, they died.
Right, standing upright, yeah.
And as opposed to pressing a flower. And Lisa, I used to be into pressing, like I would keep a rose from every, you know, bouquet that I got when I was a teenager from a boy or whatever. I wanted to save that rose, and I would press it. But then I got to where I wanted to save the bouquets, and then I would do sachets or things, and I would use the little tiny buds. And I went through a stage where I did a lot of drying of flowers and different herbs and things for scented things. So I'd forgotten that I had done that. So when you did this, it reminded me, seeing those little bundles of lavenders hanging down. And I know people do that, but totally, I mean, years and years have gone by since I've done that again, you know, for any purpose.
So right now I've got 1 coat of graphite, or 2 coats, sorry, 2 coats of graphite on there. So next I'm going to do is add some shading and some highlighting. The shading is going to be done with lamp black, and the highlighting is going to be done with snow white. So let's go with the lamp black first. And once you do 1, you can do all 3, right? Piece of cake, easy peasy. I'm going to go up to number 8 flat. And I'm going to separate the top part of the bar from the rest of. Bring that down. Let's do this side. I had made the heart a hole here, as you can see. So I shaded on top of the round and on the bottom of the round. If you need to draw your line drawing back on to figure that out. On the bottom, I left the heart on the other side. So I have the pipe going right through that. So I'm going to shade on the heart. Repeat that on this side. Paint down, water up, paint up, water down. So I did a little C-stroke shading on the bottom, and I'm going to go and add a little bit on the top here.
Just all those details that you do that make it look so exquisite. It really stands out. I love that. I'm learning so much. Okay.
I did the bottom of that V. I'm going to do the outside. Pick this up where it leaves the side posts and bring it down. End it there. Do the same on the other side. I'm going to end it, start it there and end it where it meets the side post. Make sure you get all the moisture out of your brush. Do a C-stroke down here till they meet. And then take it back from there and do it down the bottom of that heart. And if you sealed your you can wipe off when you go over the line. Okay, see about that one again. I like to say all the hairs on the surface all the time, but this time it's like really small area. So if you took a wide load, you're going to cover all of that. Let's do the top. Start from where it comes up and it goes down. It's going to come up on the chisel, flatten that out, and then end on the chisel. And I'm ending inside. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see if I can make that. So I've ended inside the line. So you're seeing a bit of this wrought iron pull behind it. So C-stroke on the bottom of the top, on the bottom of that bottom, down the bottom sides of that, bottom sides of that, bottom, 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 bottom. Piece of cake, huh?
Yeah.
And I know that side loading is not everyone's bag, so if you want to take your liner brush, pick up, dilute some of that black with some water, take your liner brush and go ahead and draw a black line where you want that shade to be. So I'm going to line down the outside of a little bit of water, a little bit of lamp black on your liner brush and just bring it right down the outside of that. You can bring it down the inside too. I'm not going on over the heart. I'm going to go around that heart and then go through the bottom one and do it on the other side. Okay, so I lined both sides. If you want to go in and just, I'm going to line in here also. Because I can do the same on this one. Now let's add our highlight. And the highlight is going to be done by pre-wetting and then adding the white on top, so the snow white, with a liner brush. So I'm going to take my flat, so this is a 14, so if you have a 14 or 12, with a fair amount of water in it. And I'm going to wash over one area at a time. Take my round brush with some white in it and start to add the highlight. I like going a little bit, it's not quite directly in the center, it's a little bit high of center. A little bit high of center, bring it around. And if you have a mop, you can mop it out, or you can soften it with the corner of your watered down brush. Okay. Now I'm going to do the bottom one. You don't want it too puddly. You just want it moist. That's too much white. I can take my mop. And I can mop that out. Now here's another trick. If you take the wet brush, the watery brush, and you center it over your area that you just painted, you can tone that down and carry that up. It's just a soft tickle of the surface. Sometimes if it dries too light, you might need to add another application once it's dry. Okay, so now that that's done, let's do, really, it puts some on the side, but not a lot. So you go with some fresh water down the side. It's a hit and miss tickle kind of thing down the side. You can tap that out and do the same on the side. So if you feel that you have lost some of your highlight as it's dried and you need to go back and punch up a little bit, go right ahead. If it's dry, you can hit it with some more water and just hit the high spots. What you want to do is dry that. So how you doing, Ophelia? Oh, look at that.
It's a little bit bigger than yours, but.
Oh, I love it. And it's got the paw prints. Oh my gosh,
That's adorable.
Cute.
Yeah, I found some regular wrapping paper, tissue paper with the paw prints, and I liked it too.
I love it. So you know what? Because that'd be perfect to keep the dog treats in if you, right? I mean, that's wonderful.
Yes.
And I got the lid, and I'm going to paint a big paw print on the top.
Oh, that's going to be perfect. That's adorable. That's going to be great. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to put our lavender on here. So we have to decide where we're hanging our lavender. If you want to go by the line drawing, you can, or you can choose, like I did, three layers. So I put one up here, one in the middle, and then one right below. So that's where I hung my lavender. Oh, actually, before I do that, let's add the purple haze. It's a lot easier if I can add the purple haze now rather than later. I'm going to take some royal purple, water, a lot of water in your brush, and take out some purple and make a very watery consistency soak up most of the water on your paper towel, and then come over to your surface that you want to haze and paint over it. I did the purple at the top and brought it down to almost about where the lavender blossoms are going to be, and then switched over and did a green haze on the bottom half. So that's what that's all about. Water, purple, take most of the water out, and then paint. Some areas might be darker than others. You can either mop that out, or you can use your finger and dab it out. Add more water just to gently color those areas. It may be a little darker. So see how, I don't know if you can tell, that's darker here than it is here. You can barely tell that there's purple here. So what I can do is take some water on my brush. Because I sealed over the paper, I should be able to lighten up that area. So now, let's see, add a little bit more down here, and then when you get down to this area, we're going to go with the green. So a little bit more water down. Take most of that out. And then come over and add the purple haze to this area. For the green haze, I'm going to add avocado. Water down green. Take out most of that, and then go ahead and add that. You're going to want to do this outside this circle too, this area. Over here. Between them, between the posts. Brush that up. Okay. So now we're ready for our lavender. I'm going to now take some of that midnight green, have a pile of midnight green, a pile of avocado, and a pile of olive green, and put a little bit of all those out. And I'm going to take my liner brush, probably what, number 1. I'm going to start with the midnight green and turn my piece around and pull up strands of lines, if you will, but in different directions. So what I'm doing is pulling it away in like a triangular form, triangle, and then filling in the different angles in the middle. Right now it's hard to see. Make them probably anywhere from 1 inch to 1.5 inches, 2 inches long in different angles. Add a little water will help you to carry that paint longer. And this is where we're going to end up covering up some of what we've done, but it's okay. For what we don't cover up, we will be grateful that we painted such detail. I'm going to do this in all of them. Some bundles are thicker than others. They have longer stems than others. You don't have to make it solid. You want to see some of the background through it. And then turn it up right and add them to the bottom. The bottom ones are longer. You got to figure out where your blossoms are going to be. And some are longer than others, like I said. So these are going to come very long. Have some short ones, have some long ones. And go to the next pile. Same thing, follow those down. Got long ones, got short ones. And I get tired of pulling down, so then I start going sideways. Whatever you need to do, whatever direction you need to go in to make it comfortable for you. And you're not going to see the dark over the dark just yet, but it's okay. We're going to get there. And what's good is we can do the tufts of color that it doesn't really matter. We're going to add so many more colors here. Okay, so there are those bundles. Now let's go and do the same thing with the avocado. This time, we're not going to do as many, and we're going to try and stay away from where the tie is. Try not to get too heavy in that area. You can put some there, but not too much. I'll put a few that pull up from there and then stay away from that. Just go in the middle or make them a little longer. Especially over the wrought iron, you want them to show up. So I'll put a few in at the tie, and then the rest I'm going to bring up over the wrought iron. And I'm holding my brush somewhat at a 90-degree angle when I start, and then I pull. I go out and pull in, out and pull in. Last but not least, let's do it with the olive. Water some down, inconsistency. Turn it around. Now this one I'm going to try and keep in the center of the tops, I don't want any near the tie or the tippy top. So I'm going to just put a few lines here in the center, and you can even go back and forth if you want. Just to lighten up that center area. And bring some of the long ones over the wrought iron. Just helps them show up a little bit more. Let's do the same on the bottom. Bringing them long, so not so up near the tie, but bringing them long down to where we're going to put our lavender blossoms. So again, while I'm here, I want to thank everyone for coming today and stopping by and painting with us. Let's see, while that's drying.
Ooh, you gotta put something there so it doesn't roll. Yeah, let it roll over.
I want that to dry. And anybody who has any painting lady friends that welcome, tell them about it and get them on board.
And for anybody watching later, because we realize that maybe you're busy, it is summer after all, and it's a holiday weekend. So we know that you're watching the replay. Don't think that we're like, slighting you. We know that you'll be with us soon as you can. But, we hope that more people will join too. And we're happy to, that you're back with us.
Yes, and look at, she's wearing the color of the day too.
I am. I was somewhat prepared. But since you spotlighted me, I will show you that part of the reason why I'm a little out of it and not ready to paint. I hope you don't mind if I share with you that I was at 2 events the last 2 nights. I covered a red carpet event for Not a War Story, which was a premiere of a film that I went to, that you can see this guy is an amputee, double amputee, playing as an actor who's an actual double amputee who played in a zombie movie where they had their legs blown off, which is kind of a funny thing, but it was a movie that was made by veterans, for veterans, about veterans, but it was about zombies. And the Not a War Story is actually a film about the making of that movie. And so they had a benefit about with the premiere of it, and it was they invited a lot of veterans, and I went to the red carpet and covered that on the red carpet, interviewed a lot of people. So I was standing, talking with makeup and interviewing people. And then there was a second event last night at the American Legion with NATO and people from all over the place. Different countries were represented. There were people there, and it was the Academy of United States Veterans, where they actually gave their Vetty Award to the producer and director of Hacksaw Bridge, and then also they gave an award to this film. So I covered the red carpet for that. So I'm a little tired.
You think?
Yeah. And my eyes are a little puffy, and my muscles are a little sore, but I just love being here on Paint with Heart and just soaking up the calm that today and the painting and watching Cindy paint brings. And so I'm going to do this project later while watching the video. So, but I just wanted to share with you why I'm not painting today, but I'm still here.
Next colors are Purple Cow, Brilliant Purple, and the Royal Purple. So put a puddle of those out. This is real technical, ladies. I'm going to start with the darkest value first, which is Royal Purple in my liner brush. And I'm going to do little, like, sit-down dashes. And start wherever you want, but dash some up and dash some on the side, like little wheat things. It's exactly what you're doing, is you're making these little wheat dash, 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 dash. That's what they look like in real life. Dash, 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 dash. Little wheat, I don't know what you call them. Prawns, flowering wheat things. Don't forget, you can have some down here. Dash, 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 dash. Instead of wiggle, 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 wiggle. Maybe some in the back. Between, if you have open spots of white, you want to put some in between, you can add some in between. Dash, 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 dash. Some can be out here longer. And then go up one side and then go up the other. So isn't that really technical? I mean, you're going to do that all the way up and down in various heights. Always kind of ending in a cone shape though. You want to end kind of in a point. So they're thicker and then they get thinner, thicker and then they get thinner. This is a tedious part, but I mean, it's amazing how with a few dashes and a few lines, how it actually can look and come out looking as pretty as it does. So again, we're making these all different levels or whatever, heights and whatever. So I am working on the Christmas box. We will have a book and a Christmas ornament club for 2017. Melissa already has some of her ornaments, right?
I do? I do.
I hope you do.
I have some of my ornaments, things that you've sent me, like the little glass ornaments that we're going to be painting, or things that I already have ready to go.
Yeah, so I'll have another book out to follow that. We'll do a box, a Christmas Club box, and you'll be able to order that, pre-order.
So so Cindy's gonna have the box so that you can order the supplies to make the projects that we're going to be making for the upcoming episodes, where we're going to be making the ornaments that she's going to use to write the book for the upcoming Christmas specials of the ornaments for next year's book, right?
This year's book, yes.
This year's book, because we have last year's book of ornaments.
Right, which is still available.
Yeah.
The next thing I'm gonna do is pick up some of that purple, brilliant purple, which is one of their new colors. And I'm going to first do two little strokes where the bundle is going to be tied to the wrought iron. One right on top of the other. Okay. Next, I'm going to take that and I'm going to tap over the royal purple. Now, don't do it to lose the royal purple, but you can do it between the taps of royal purple that you put on. Give it some highlight. Don't lose all the dark. Separating them, if you got bundles that are next to each other, separating them or separating them from the wrought iron. And I am going the length. Now I'm going to go back and pick up some of that dark purple to do two lines. And that's going to be the line in the middle of the two brilliant purples you just did, and a line on the bottom. Last but not least, we're going to pick up with our liner brush and some water the purple cow. And I'm going to tuck a highlight of this line in the center. Take some of that off. In the center here and the center there. Give it a little bit of a highlight. Now, with the dashes, I'm trying to keep those towards the top of the top. On the few of the front ones, I put them down below, but if you try to keep them on the tops, not going too far down. If you have some that are in the front and you want to bring the highlight all the way down, otherwise I'm going to keep them to the tops of my bundles, or where you need to separate them. These are more dots than dashes at this point. Dot, 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 dot. So I'm getting ready to do my first 4-hour class with my patrons. And you can become a patron by going to cindyharrisonart.com under Paint with Heart. And it says how to become a patron. And then it's a 4-hour exclusive class just for certain levels of patron. Easy peasy. So I think this is going to be an awesome piece because they want you to keep your loose teas into an airtight tin. And these are an airtight tin, I think. They keep cookies fresh in them, so.
Oh, definitely.
I painted the top part black. I'll paint the bottom part black. And then on the lid, what I was thinking of doing on the lid is cutting a circle of that tissue paper and decoupaging it on here. Let's go over here and spotlight Ophelia. That's
Oh,
beautiful. Look at
Very
that.
pretty.
Very pretty.
smile, Ophelia. There she is. Very nice.
Can I show you my one project I finally finished?
Yep.
This is,
Oh, look
Oh,
Oh,
at
I
that.
like that.
Oh, did you get a picture of that one, Melissa?
yeah, let's see. Give us a smile for that too. Oh, I love that. Love it. It says, love the journey.
That is
Oh, look how
fantastic.
cute. Very nice. Did you all see my rock that I finished from last time?
Oh, that's pretty.
So I haven't glued this on yet. But maybe I did. Did I finish it? Can't remember.
Did you do glitters?
Yeah, it has glitter.
Oh, good. You're finished.
Yes,
Yeah, I just
very
have to
pretty.
stick it on. I have to decide where I'm going to put that.
Your rock even looks glittery.
Yeah, the glitter kind of fell on it. And my little bee.
Oh, it's
Oh,
cute.
yes.
Kind of weird little wings.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, that's kind of cute. I like it. Anyway, I like it. But look how cute.
Oh, those are cute. Yes.
Yeah.
I did this, and I'm so happy. I want to do more of them.
Oh, I like that.
If I can.
Very pretty.
So, and it's got pearls all the way around it. And not that you can tell, it's like, see the lace?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's pretty. It's so Victorian. It reminds me of.
Yes, it does look Victorian the way it is.
So I'm gonna do that on Create This, and on Paint with Heart, we're gonna have what we call the Sun's Creek.
Oh,
I can't wait to paint that. It's going to be fun.
that is going to be fun.
This is actually a huge slate.
Well,
And these here, that's those Spanish moss trees that hang all that moss off of them in the south.
Uh-huh.
So anyways, yeah, so I'm so excited. I'm working on something else now that's still in line with this kind of stuff here. And we'll see if it comes out. It might be a part of our ornaments for our ornament club. Can't wait.
yay. That's going to be fun.
are you gonna put a finish on top of that?
Yes, I will varnish this with probably the Duraclear Soft Touch varnish. And I'll
Okay.
cover over that. And probably at least three coats. If I use it for tea, like if you use it for dog biscuits, something you're gonna be touching all the time, you're gonna want to. So I'm just gonna do one more side and then I will be done and I'll be able to use my container. I'm so happy.
It's awesome.
So, any other questions?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So I think it came out pretty cool. I think I got daintier on this time than that time. That I was a little bit more bolder, and then I got real dainty.
You got tiny.
I think it's because I used a tinier brush, so it does make a difference on what brush you use. Even the sprigs are thicker here, so I probably use the 4 round first one, and I use the 1 liner for the second. So makes a difference. So look at your surface, and if you've got a bigger surface, you need to cover more area, use a bigger brush and make it bigger. I think that and don't worry about like putting them in the middle of the cluster on top of some of your branches, if you want to call them that, because that makes it look more natural that there's some in the front and they're not all just at the same level flattened out, that you've got an actual bundle by having some of them shorter and in the front than the other ones that are longer and in the back.
All those little details that make them look so realistic and that you always think out, and just so brilliant. So in awe.
There you go. So one last look. We'll look at Ophelia's one more time.
Let's see that. Very nice.
Nice.
Very nice. Let's see the side. Look at that. You know how life is. The chain reaction. One giant chain reaction. So anyway, that is why we need our Lavender and our Cindy's, our BFFs, and our Paint with Heart, so that we can just calm down that chain reaction, take deep breaths, and enjoy our life. And I thank you, everybody. Thank you, Cindy, so much for this wonderful episode and class of Paint with Heart, and for the Lavender bunches. Now, what do we call it again?
Purple Haze.
Purple Haze. The purple haze of summer. And there's always a little purple haze in the background, isn't there? But it's so nice to have you to clear it all up for us on Paint with Heart and bring us some clarity and calm on a Sunday afternoon, and with our tins of lavender. I love it. Thank you so much, Cindy, and have a great week, everybody.
Sorry, I cut you off early. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Ophelia and Kathy, for being here. Thank you for watching on the replay. Any questions, you can always contact me, Cindy at cindyharrisonart.com. And until next week, remember to always paint with heart. Bye, everyone. Thank you.